All right, I was born way back in the woods in a little town called Emerson, Arkansas. I had three sisters, three brothers. We had to walk about 3 miles to catch the bus to go to school. We all went to all black school, of course. We all lived in what back then we called a shotgun house. We had a wooden stove and also that my mother cooked on, and a big wooden heater in the living room with the smokestack. That's how we got warm before going to bed every night. I graduated from high school in 1960 from McMister High in Emerson, Arkansas. And during that time, my grandfather had lots of land. He was a farmer. Ever since I was about 15, 16 years old, I used to have to go and help him plow the fields, learn how to plant cotton, learn how to cultivate the cotton, had to put what it's called soda around it to help it to grow. In 1960, used to play a lot of semi-pro softball, and I used to walk at least 4 miles just to play. By the way, Arkansas was all segregated at the time. Could only go where black people hung out at. I used to walk from my house about 4.5 miles, go to a little we call it a juke joint. And that's where blacks hung out, have fun. We thought we had a great time. Matter of fact, we did have a great time, but nowadays, if you tell youngsters that, they probably think you're crazy. But anyway, my oldest sister had went off to college. Family could not afford to send me, so I was working with my father, and we worked for this white person. By the way, working for white back then, you said you would address white people, yes sir, or yes ma'am, no ma'am, or yes no sir. That's one thing I never liked doing. I used to avoid it as much as I could during the time. I know that sounds crazy, but to all the young people who don't know anything about it, I'm sure they would say, well, why didn't you go to the police or you complain about it? But at that time, the police wore white sheets at night, just like any other white person. So if you wanted to stay alive and stay out of trouble, you stayed in what was called your place. And your place meant there was only certain places you could go, which was I don't know. Now that I look back at it, it's kind of funny, but at the time it wasn't. It was a way of surviving. So anybody who think it's unheard of, it is how black people of my age or era survived. And I know now that the world is not perfect, but black people have 10,000 more opportunities to help themselves now than they did then. So in 1963, I was 18. I left Arkansas. Been in California ever since. Although I did get drafted, went to the military, came back to California once I was out. And of course, I made a career out of the military. Got married in 1980 to my wife. We were married for, we actually did the till death do us part. We were married for 44 years. And we had a lot more good times than there were bad, I'm happy to say.